What's going on? Happy Thursday to everybody. And it's actually 11:55 right now at night and it's about to be Friday, but I just had this on my mind and I said, let me go ahead and grab my microphone so I can just say a few things real quick. But it's been on my mind a lot today and it kind of goes off of a post that I had put on my Instagram story. And on my story, I had posted a video that I took today, just showing the progress updates for my body. Since I've been, consistently working out more and overall just been in this space of creating positivity just around self, skincare, and everything. And after I posted that, I also had put another message on my story, and the message read, "The younger me would be proud of the adult version of me. All those times I beat myself up and was embarrassed for my imperfections, all the times I didn't feel confident as a kid. I get to embrace it all now because I've allowed myself to love who I'm becoming, and I get to help others that may be struggling, that may not have a voice. The self love journey started years ago, and we still going for show. Work on loving yourself every day during the process. You'll appreciate it in the long run." And this message that I put out when I was writing it or typing it, when I was, thinking about it before I had done it, it felt great doing it. And I had even prayed about it and everything. And when I was going through the message, I'm trying to get the right words to say this. But as I was going through a message like that, there's power in that. And the power that I felt in that moment and the power that I feel whenever I'm able to speak in those type of lights feels really, really good on the inside. And for someone like myself that has, as I even said in the message, went through a self love journey for so long and am continuing to do it as we all should, it's beautiful to see the parts of yourself that have grown and the levels of openness that you've been able to get to, especially when you didn't have that before. And I'm someone that specifically within this message, as I was when it came to Instagram and Facebook, like these are social media platforms that we've had probably since middle school, high school. So there's a lot of people that you follow and are friends with that you've known for so long, and people that have seen you over time. And when it comes to weight progress and stuff like that, it's not so much of people knowing me for forever, but I know that based on the individual that I have been, is over time you just get to where you get these comments and you get these perspectives coming from people where individuals aren't with you growing in the process. And so you realize, especially from like the small town that I come from and those environments, that people are on the same type of time all the time. And 10, 15 years can pass and it truly seems as if like a lot of people haven't been making any progress. And there's things that people are still doing where it shows that they haven't made any progress. And so whenever you're someone that is posting about areas that you're trying to progress in and that you're trying to make yourself better in, a lot of times you get type of comments and feedback from people that just aren't even doing much with their own life and they have so much to say about other people but aren't even in control of their own situations. And so for me, when it comes to these particular platforms, when it came to my skincare and weight loss and all that, there were times, a lot of times in college, to where I would consistently post this type of content, even if I had gotten to a level that I wanted to get to and then fell off or whatever. The big point was for me is I was able to showcase to people in real time what I was going through and how I can build my confidence and build myself up in those moments. And what helped me a lot is I was in a whole different environment than where I was from. And then even as you go through college, then especially being in Kentucky, then the college environment almost becomes similar to home because you're in a small area to where people haven't really got out of that environment. So, in a sense, people that are from Louisville may end up staying in Louisville to go to school. And so everybody knows each other. And then a lot of people are sharing the same experiences. And I'm saying all that to say is, and I'm saying all that to say, whenever you go through points of adversity and you're trying to do things that are different and you're trying to express yourself, a lot of times you can get caught up in, because of the environment that you've been in, that things can feel the same. But over time, you never know how many additional people that you've connected with and that are enjoying your messages, because especially when times and years go by, there's so many different people that you had the opportunity to meet. And I had that revelation today because I started to go back and post content and stuff on my YouTube, and I've been doing, skincare, getting back on that and my weight loss content, and just more so putting myself back out there, um, like I should be doing. And I had to even realize, like, for YouTube, yeah, there's a good amount of people that know I have a YouTube, but not many people that I know follow my YouTube. So for that, I felt very comfortable in getting back and doing my content because I'm like, you know what? I don't have to worry about all the outside noise and people commenting all this and that know me, trying to tell me what to do and whatever. But today, I said, you know what? Let me go back into, not. There was a point during the pandemic that I got to where I truly appreciated, and I truly started to appreciate the body positivity and embrace, like, the imperfections, right? Like, I had weighed a lot. I weighed way more than I weigh now. And I remember one time I was at the gym and I was like, let me go ahead and just take my shirt off. Like, why am I sitting here trying to hide when I'm about to change just so I can't show people the gut and stuff that I have? And I'm like, what's the purpose of this? Like, who am I fooling? At the end of the day, people are going to be able to see it regardless. You can try to hold in your breath and try to, make your stomach feel flat or whatever, but what's there is going to be seen. And at that moment, I say, you know what? I'm feeling this way, but I'm not doing anything to change it. And that's where I started to be even more consistent in the gym. And so now I had to get back to that point because there were certain points, especially when my keloids had grown back and to where I had gained a little bit of weight. And, during the process, it's like, I'm appreciating myself, but there's still some ways in which I wasn't. And here in the last few weeks, there's just been something in my spirit, and I don't know if it's because of the prayers and stuff. And I'm sure it is with my faith and everything, and just the position that I've been in. But I've been really excited to show people my progress and just being able to express myself. And I test that to the the journey that I've been on, right? Like, this journey of living by myself and just being in a position to be able to explore myself even more has just been amazing. And there's been a lot of ups and downs, but the biggest thing is I don't have to hear so much of the outside noise at all because I'm a person that's going to be in control of what I got going on. And the beauty in this is that as I'm going through the process and in progressing, I'm able to share with myself first before I have to let anybody else see what I have going on. I get the opportunity to look myself in the mirror and give myself the okay before anybody else can. And so today, when I was thinking about it, I said, you know what, Demarcus, you give yourself the okay today to go ahead and showcase this because you know somebody needs it. You've already done it with the skincare. What's the point of sitting there trying to hide this is and that? Not that I was trying to hide it, but what's the point of even worrying about what people are going to say or whatever? Post it, but then also put the message there to tell people about why you're doing it, because that's who you are, and you're a real person that shares information like that that can help others. And I'm like, you know what? That's what made me feel good because a lot of times when people are, taking shirts off, trying to show progress, some people are trying to do it just to get that validation or make people feel them because they're in a certain type of position, whatever. But my purpose of doing it was to really showcase to people that, you know what, I don't give a damn about what somebody has to say or whatever. Like, this is who Demarcus is. And this is a start for me because my mentality is shaping up to where I know where I'm going to get to. Like, this is not the end all be all. And I've been continued to be consistent in a lot of areas of my life to where it feels good to post something like that, right? Because at times where I wasn't that consistent, and there may be a few times where I'm working out. There may be a few times throughout the month where I'm cooking or whatever. That's going to be different because I'm not keeping up with something. I'm not continuing to do something that's making me happy. I'm not continuing to do something that's bettering myself. So at the end of the day, I'm just kind of relying on motivation in those moments at the time, and that's what's getting me through. But now I'm pushing myself through and having that grit on days where I don't really feel like working out, days where things aren't going well, maybe not going well in my life. I'm having to force myself to get to where I want to be. And I'm having to force myself to change my mentality to be able to be happy with the person that I am. And I've loved that. And over time, I've loved it as well, but I really love it in this moment. Like I've been a person that has instilled confidence, has improved his self-esteem, that has, you know, gotten past, getting out, going out in public and being able to show his keloids, going through acne. Like that was a struggle in itself. But now is the grown man part of, you know what? A lot of people need to hear your message, Demarcus. A lot of people need to feel that they have somebody that they can go along this journey with, because there's so many people out here that are giving people the wrong information. And even if you don't have all the answers, there's so many people out here that are fooling people into thinking that they have it all figured out and everything's perfect when it's not. And I'm someone that wears that on my sleeve, and I have no reason to make people think that I'm feeling the way that I don't and trying to prove to people this and that. Like this is not me. And so when I made that post, I felt so happy on the inside. I had a song playing. It was that Not Too Much by Eddie Valero. Then I put on that Last Laugh by Jeezy, because all those emotions and things that I felt at times, I know that I'm molding into more and more each day the person that I want to be. So in these moments where I get to share those type of things, I feel fully in control. And being alone, being living alone, again, I'm the one that has to get up each and every day to make sure I'm going to the gym, making sure that I'm happy with um, the person in the mirror before I'm going to an event, before I step outside. And I don't have to listen to anybody else first. It took me a second to think. I have to be the first one in command. Sometimes, when you're living with people, or when you're in a situation where you're around people all the time, the first thing whenever you about to go to an event, hey, how does this look? What do you think about this? What do you think I should do here? But when you're someone that has to make the decisions for you, and it's not that you can't FaceTime people and call people, but when you're living with people, it's different, because you can just you can have that knock on the door next door to ask somebody for a question, or you can just step out of your room and somebody's right there. But in moments where you're having to figure it out, and it's not in that real time to where somebody can just give you answers real quick, you've got to figure it out for yourself. And I love every bit of it. And I love being able to share this with others as well. And this video here, or this podcast episode, may even be a bit choppy, because I'm just thinking of it, and getting excited as I'm talking about this. But these are real feelings and real emotions that I had, and it was just a thrill just to be able to see that in real time, and just the feeling that I had when doing that. It shaped for the rest of the day. It's like, listen, Demarcus, by you taking the steps to do this, by you taking the steps to put yourself out there even more and showcasing to people what it is, you ain't got to accept nothing from nobody. People, if they want to come and try to give you feedback, tell you what you should do, you can shut them down, because at the end of the day, that message that you put after you had showcased your body literally tells why you're doing it. So if somebody's trying to tell you about what you should do with your face, what you should do with your body, what workouts you should do, they're completely missing the message, and you have the okay to tell them off, because that's not what it's about. And sometimes the person that I am, it's like you don't even want to get into those situations, because it can just be like, why am I sitting here going back and forth with people? But it is important to stand on your tools and let people know what's up. And we also have to get better as a society, but not feeling like everything's got to be solution based. Because those same people that are trying to tell you what to do are the same ones that need to hear that message, and the same one that can actually take your message and utilize it for themselves. So that just really put a good spirit in me. And I always appreciate the people that support me. I got a lot of people that like my post, that have reached out. And a friend of mine was going through um, something in her life, and also too, based on the message that she had put, really helped to inspire even me putting that out today. Even though I have been doing things like this, it inspired me to even push through and put this message out, because I'm like, wow, somebody else is also putting themselves out there with something that's even more wild and more trauma trauma focused than what I'm going through at this moment. So I even sent her like a loving message, and just really just reassured her, and just spread a lot of love and care. And this is someone that I grew up with, and someone that is a dear person to my heart. And I was like, you know what? I'm proud of you for being able to share your message and what you're doing, because not everybody has the courage and strength to do that. And people like that inspire me, because especially where we come from, the things that we go through as a society, especially as black individuals, like, to see people doing that, and to know that I'm not the only person out here that is willing to take those steps, that makes you feel good, because you realize that, like, there's people out here doing great things. And while it may feel small, that's okay, because there's people like you out here that are doing the work. And so for anybody out here that may be listening to this message, get a chance to come across this, just know that, like, you taking the step to put yourself out there, you taking the stride to be able to share with people your imperfections and how you felt about yourself and how you're loving yourself, like, you're keeping it real, because at the end of the day, so many people only want to give those highlights, as I said in my previous episodes. So if you're someone that you feel that you have a voice, please share it, because at the end of the day, people need it. People like myself appreciate it, because there's others like me out here that aren't afraid to showcase who they are, because it's easy to be someone that you're not, but showing who you are can be hard, because then you're giving people the opportunity to see your vulnerable state, see you in real time, and it gives them the opportunity to be able to critique things. But at the end of the day, when you're someone that's doing the work, you're someone that's proud of who you are, none of that can affect you. It might affect you a slight bit. I can't say that it doesn't affect you at all. Let me take that back. But it's not going to affect you how it would if you weren't doing the work. So that was just on my mind. Um, Hopefully that's helpful. I'm sure I'm going to make other episodes similar to something like this, kind of talking about, this topic more in depth. But that was just on my mind. I said, let me get my microphone and just say it out loud. So, man, this was a really good episode for me to speak on, and a really good topic for me to speak about. So I'm gonna let y'all go. Hopefully you have a good rest of the week. Again, if you're not following my social media, my Instagram is that man Marco for my personal page. My food Instagram is mashing up with Marco, and my YouTube page is the multifacets of the market. So looking forward to seeing y'all soon. Peace.